قدروا اندلاع حريق كبير في مرفأ بيروت.
لا
عطرة
يا عطرة البناية يا عطرة. انفجار.
منه
يا لطيف.
ليك الدخنة كيف بعدها ليك الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. هذا شيء أشهد أن
As we go to air tonight, Lebanon is a country without a capital. Beirut ripped apart by an explosion akin to an atomic bomb. More than 100 people, including an Australian, are dead. Hospitals are overwhelmed. At least 4,000 wounded. The casualties and the death toll are expected.
1,000 mobile phones rolling on the billowing fire at Beirut port when all hell tore into the city. Captured on the land, from the sea, and from this car. A cameraman was rolling on the fire. There are reports he did not survive. From so many apartments, a blast that looked and felt like an atomic bomb. They saw the blast and then were knocked off their feet by the shockwave.
The glass shattered all over the car, the cars around us. the buildings, all the glass just went down. It was raining glass all over the city of Beirut.
This man crawled from his car. It exploded, he said, and the broken glass is what did this to my face. My car looks like this. In the top right corner, a reporter in Beirut was interviewing a man in Morocco. Apartment blocks shredded, balconies, windows, all blasted away. There were early reports fireworks started the initial blaze before igniting a massive stockpile of ammonium nitrate.
Words can't explain because we've been through so much since November, the economic crisis, then the COVID-19, and now this. It's
a live-streamed church service shattered by a blast that fell from the heavens. A child playing as the windows are blown in. A father trying to find cover, anything, to protect his son. A bride posing for photos ends up running for her life. In seconds, more damage than years of civil war.
It took 30 days to do the same destruction. We had it in one explosion. It is a catastrophe. I've never seen something like that.
Australian Adam Malouf is holidaying in Beirut and was 30 kilometres from the blast.
We're not anywhere near the city where we are, and it was deafening, the noise.
Bloodied and shell-shocked, Beirut's walking wounded hit their phones to find out about the fate of their loved ones. And the city's governor simply lost for words. One Australian has been confirmed killed. Our embassy was also in the blast zone.
Our embassy in Beirut has been impacted significantly, but I can report all our staff there are okay. Some cuts and some scratches.
Australian Sam Mosley thought it was an earthquake.
Lebanon has no capital city at the moment. That's how bad it is.
Donald Trump waded in from Washington, calling it an attack.
It would seem like it based on the explosion. I've met with some of our great generals and they just seem to feel that it was.
But Lebanon's head of security says the blast was caused by 2,700 tonnes of ammonium nitrate, which had been seized from a ship and was being kept in storage. Australian journalist Martin Chuloff lives in Beirut.
We're roughly 2.5 kilometres from the blast site. As I walk from my house towards ground zero, every 100 metres or so, the devastation intensifies. We're looking at every building between here and there has been damaged in some way.
The shockwave has reached Australia, home to 500,000 Lebanese Australians.
Some people until now, they don't know. Some people still alive, not alive, under the houses.
The city staggered into an eerie world of dust and sirens that must have felt like the end of the world. And so many stumbled into hospitals, an impossible number to treat. A city hardened by war, on its knees by a single blast. Hours later, only helicopters could reach the blast's ground zero. A drop in an ocean of ruined buildings and lost lives.
The skyline looks like in Beirut right now. Buildings are still smouldering as emergency workers dig through the rubble to search for survivors. Neighbouring countries are sending plane loads of medical equipment and doctors to help as Lebanon declared.
Just after 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday the 4th of August. Just after 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday the 4th of August. An explosion ripped through Beirut's port. People in Lebanon's capital had earlier spotted a large fire at the port, billowing dark smoke into the air.
there were reports that a warehouse containing fireworks had caught fire. And several videos of the scene showed coloured flashes in the flames. Videos from the scene suggest there was one smaller explosion. And then roughly 30 seconds later, this enormous shock. The blast struck with the force of a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. This was the aftermath. Windows shattered in buildings across the city and damaged cars on the roads near the port. This is where the explosion happened. 4 kilometers away, in the St. Mar-Meroun church, a priest and his congregation were taking part in Mass. The explosion was caught on camera 11 kilometers away in the Dabia Marina. The blast was so big that it was heard from the mountains. This video from the town of Brumana, 15 kilometers away, shows how far the shockwave reached. It was even heard and felt as far away as Cyprus, more than 125 miles across the Mediterranean. Aerial shots show the scale of the destruction of the port. It reportedly housed 85% of Lebanon's supply of grain, which was a strategic food reserve in a country crippled by economic meltdown. You can see the impact on the Beirut port silos building before and after the explosion. Surrounding the silos were corrugated iron and steel structures that have mostly been destroyed. These satellite images reveal the extent of the damage. This crater was once a warehouse. Now it's underwater. The colossal force was caused by the explosion of 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate.